Why they make a big deal out of your failures instead of the success and achievement you newly found access to. There are going to be times when your failures are made more important than your success. Others' idea of you will pretty much stay the same no matter how much work you put in on yourself. No matter how much you grow past how you used to be or how things used to be for you, or whether you changed mentally and now you're working towards changing things physically, people are always going to see you the way that they want to, the way that puts them above you in their mind. Whatever. This is why they're always trying to bring up your past. People who bring up your past a lot, they feel that they're better than you. Because even in that moment, right then and there, they're trying to signify to you that they're better than you, even in that moment, right then and there. So that's why people will bring up your past, things you done got over, things you done moved on from, things you no longer allow to bother you. People want to bring those back up so that way they, as a tool of power, as a form of manipulation, they want to use certain things against you to get you to not feel as good about yourself, so that way they can feel that they're in control. They need to feel that they're in control of you, so they throw shade as a way to monitor the way and manage the way you feel about yourself. They're trying to change your idea of you. When you deal with narcissistic people or disorderly character, a disturbed character type people, you're going to have to affirm the truth about yourself to yourself, because you could be around people who are trying to damage that idea that you hold about you. And if it may be fragile, you're going to have to build it up. If it may be weak, you're going to have to strengthen your strengths. It's okay if you keep it real with yourself. You're going to have to strengthen your idea in your mind about who you are. That's why people make a big deal of your failures. They want to keep you on a certain level in their mind, in your mind. They can't let you get too big or the overcome the idea that they have set up for you. Some people even try to program you and set up the idea that they have for you in your mind. They want you to view yourself the way they view you. When you don't when you view yourself the way you see you instead of viewing yourself the way they see you, it's a problem. And that's why people make a big deal out of your failures instead of your success. It's because they don't want you to get to the promised land in your mind. All right. They don't want you to become successful. They don't want you to get out of that idea that they have set up for you, the mental trap that they have set up for you. Some people have curses put on them in the form of an idea of themselves that's not the truth of them. There are some people who have been fed a lie-idea, a false lie-idea about themselves, a false lie-idea, a liar idea about themselves. You've been sold an idea that you're not good enough. You've been sold an idea you're not good looking enough. You've been served an idea that you're not cool enough. They think you're corny, you'll never make it. No one will like you. You're whack. If you feel you have a chance at something, you have a chance at something, regardless of what people say, what they think, or how they feel. The only opinion that matters is yours. However, many people don't like you, guess what? The fact that you're willing to stand up for yourself and go for what you believe in, there are going to be tons, if not trillions, of other people that can relate to that same vibration that you're putting out. You don't have to worry about if they like you or not. They're going to respect the energy that you're carrying. They're going to see themselves within you, so they're going to automatically like you. Don't overthink it. Just go be successful and know that there's going to be people who come to support you and that are in agreement with what you're doing. They want to make a big deal out of your failures because you're on your way. They want to take your mind off of the good you're doing and try to make you backslide. Do you remember the time when you messed up? Do you remember the time when you messed up? Do you remember the time when you could have? Do you remember the time when you messed up? Why would you want to remember the time when you could have? Why would you want to remember the time when you messed up? If you've gotten over that, if you've corrected that, if you've turned your life around, if you've done something better for yourself, with your life, why do you need to be reminded or remember when you took a L, when you had a loss? You're already a boss. You're the type of person that looks at a loss and turns it into a win. You take that one W, turn it up like that, find another way to get you a L, turn it up like that, and then you make you a W. Okay, I lost here, up, we got to win. You learn. Whether you take that, well, no, screw that. You ain't got to keep losing. I was just trying to figure out how to get another W in this frame of time. But look at God. God just showed me that we ain't got to keep losing. You learn, you lose, take that one W, and you learn. Take that. No, you lose one L, take the other L from learning, and you get you a win. Take some losses, take some learning, put those two L's together, and you got you a W. You take some losses, you take some learning, put those two L's together, and you got you a W. Paper falling apart. Devil, don't even want me to get this one out. Mmm, I like that. Yeah, we're going to do something with that. All right. So, if you're not making a big deal out of the things you went through and you're over it, why do others have to make a big deal out of the things that you went through and got over? You're over it. Why do they have to keep bringing it up? Why do they have to keep bringing it up? Why do they have to keep mentioning it? Why do they have to keep saying something about it? They want to keep bringing it up and mentioning it because they see you're past it, and they're trying to make you focus on it because they know it's something that can bring you down. And it's a way to bring you down without actually you being aware that you're being brought down, until you find out that you're upset and mad every time this person keeps bringing up your freaking past. After the 20th time they bring it up and you realize that it's an attack that they're using on you, you're ready to stop going around that person. Because, yo, every time I call them, they're going to bring my past up. Every time I talk to them, they're going to bring my past up. Every time I try to feel good around them, they're going to try to make me feel bad. People make a big deal out of your failures instead of your success because they don't want you to feel good. If they focused on your success, it would make you feel too good and you would go out and achieve too much. That the feeling of support that you would get to add to your accomplishments and achievement and your motivation, you're going to have to get from yourself. You're not going to get it from anyone. You're not going to get it from those you know, and you're not going to get it from those you're close to. You're going to get that from strangers. The appreciation and the love for what you do and the support, just like energetically, as far as like the encouragement, you're going to get that from other people. That's not going to come from people that are close to you, because they could possibly be mad that it's not them, or they don't want you to outdo them. Why would somebody who doesn't want you to outdo them encourage you to do your best? Because if your best is going to outdo them, then they're going to want you to be mediocre, to go do something average. They're not going to want you to go do something great or be the best version of yourself, because that's going to possibly make them feel some type of way if they're outdone. That's why people make a big deal out of your failures. They don't want you to outdo them. They don't want you to focus on your newly found access to success. You don't see them with access to any, do you? They're not going to make a big deal out of what happens for you. And even if something big was happening for them, they would just focus on what was happening for them, and they wouldn't even be there to even entertain or hear what you had to say. They'd be doing something big and rubbing it in your face, more than likely, or holding it above you in some type of controlling manner. So they don't want to see you standing on your own 2 feet, having it your own way, doing it your own way, being your own person, doing you, what you're supposed to do, what you're gifted at, what you're skilled at. That's why they're not going to make a big deal out of it. And that's why they're going to bring up your failures. The more they can get you to focus on, oh man, I failed. They can get you to possibly second guess, possibly get you to quit, possibly get you to give up, because you're going to think about what can go wrong instead of what can go right. They're mad that you were able to defeat the mindset that they set you up to live in. Some people set you up to live in a mindset to where you were never supposed to get free. You were never supposed to get out of it. You were supposed to stay stuck thinking the way that you were programmed, thinking that you couldn't be anything, that you were weak, that you were a people pleaser, that there's nothing greater than you can do but work for somebody. You can't go do your own thing. You're not good enough or smart enough or intelligent enough. You're not a business person. You have no skills. All false things, a false narrative, a lie idea. A lying idea, an idea that's lying to you, that's not yours. That's just something floating around in your conscious mind due to the negative people you've been around, or had to experience, or were possibly engaged in, or brought up by. People having negative beliefs, people thinking negative, people not seeing things as possible for themselves. So it makes them negative when it comes to beliefs and dreams and goals and positive thinking. But making a big deal out of someone's failures is not going to solve any of that. Making a big deal out of somebody's losses or mistakes is more than likely only going to motivate them to try harder, to do better, to learn more, to become more educated and more skilled. You're only going to push that person further into what you're trying to deter them from. Somebody wants to be something bad enough, they're going to be it. Somebody wants to be what they want to be bad enough, they're going to do what's necessary to make that happen for themselves in their life, as they should. But they're trying to make a big deal out of your failures because they don't want you to see it for yourself. They want you to be hurt by the fact that they don't see you as successful as you see yourself. They want you to be hurt by the fact that they don't see it for you, or they don't think you can do it, or they don't want you to think that they think you can do it, or they don't want you to think that they see it for you or think that you can make it happen, but you don't need them to. They may People may get negative, people may bring up the past failures, mistakes, shortcomings, but it's only because you're going way further than that. So people who see you going further than your past or further than where they want to see you, they have to constantly remind you of what you did, what went wrong, what didn't go work out, what failures you had. Remember this failure, remember that failure. They're not trying to let you live. And once you see people who you say that around, you're like, man, they're not trying to let me live. That's a red flag. They're not trying to let me live. That's a sign you need to separate. That's a sign that person is, their energy is destroying you. It's destroying your energy, your positive energy, your self-esteem, your courage, your strength. You can't afford that. Your peace of mind. That's all your money. That's like taking a check from work and cutting it up. Hey, I'm trying to add to the pot. Somebody just taking that thing going. You're like, yo, what in the what? Same concept. People playing with you, toying with you, bringing up your failures, trying to make you feel like a failure when you're not. When you're around people who constantly make you feel some kind of way, and when you feel better when you're away from them, you realize that they're working against you, because you have to work on yourself to feel better when you're away from them. Then when you get back around them, it causes more harm, more damage, more problems. Those are situations that are toxic. Those are situations that aren't good for you to be in. Those are situations you got to get up out of, because those are situations where a person's trying to make you feel like a failure. You need to feel like a winner and be in a successful environment to succeed and win. If you're not, it's going to be harder. You're not going to be able to be as efficient as you would be if you could be in your own peaceful space. So you have to uplift yourself and give credit to yourself for your newfound achievements. You have to make a big deal out of your success, even your small victories. You have to make a big deal out of being in a new position in life, even if it's no different than where you were, but you're doing things different. Things may not look different, but hey, I'm different. Yo, give yourself some major props. If you're different, but even though things may not be different yet, but you're different, hey, give yourself some big props. That's a major accomplishment. That's a major achievement. You owe it to yourself. You chose not to fail and not to be a failure. You are strong enough. That's why you make a big deal out of the good things, because there's so many people trying to make a big deal out of bad things. Some people want you to stay stuck on your mistakes, stay stuck on what you did wrong. How you supposed to do what's right? How you supposed to improve or get better if your mind is constantly on what you did? Let their mind stay on what you did or what happened. Let them stay in the past and live in the past, and you be in the present. Just because other people's minds are there, it doesn't mean yours has to be there. Just because somebody else's mind is in the past doesn't mean yours has to be in the past. You could take your mind wherever you want. You could put your mind wherever you want. It's not time travel, it's mind travel. You take your mind and you put it wherever you want, especially in the present and not in the past. Because you make a big deal out of your past, you're going to live there. It's a lot of people living in their past. You don't want to live there. Even if people are making a big deal out of your failures, let them make a big deal out of your failures, and you continue to show yourself success. You continue to display success. Whatever they want to see is whatever they're going to get for themselves. Whatever you see in other people is what you're going to get for yourself. If you see the worst, if you see a failure in someone, if you're looking for failure in other people, you're going to end up finding that in your own life. You're going to end up finding that in you. You're going to end up finding that failure. You're going to end up being a failure. People wonder why they stay stuck. You're going to stay stuck because you're looking for that in others. You want it for others. What you want for others is what you get for yourself. Even that's why God says bless your enemies. What you want for others, you want for yourself. That's why God says vengeance is mine, doth saith the Lord. What you want, this is why you don't even want harm or hurt for certain people. What you want for others, you want for yourself. You know what God is going to do to them, that's another story. But you could wish them the best, but what God says, that still stands. But you just do that so there's no negative energetic connection between you and them, because you don't need that. You're the one that is trying to be the better person. You don't need that attached to you. When people make a big deal out of failure, that's when you know you're about to do something really big. That's how you know that you're on your way to become extremely successful. And it's that extreme success that they don't want you to be able to tap into. They don't want you to get a taste of that extreme success. Success to where it's life changing. Success to where it's money changing. Success to where it'll alter your whole universe. You'll look different, you'll live different, you'll drive different. That's why they're making a big deal out of your failures. They don't want you to think that you can have big time success, or that you deserve it. There are people who want you to think that you deserve what they feel that they're worthy of. They want you to set your standards or set your bar where theirs is at, but you feel that you can achieve more. Some people are threatened by that and made uncomfortable when they have to be around that. Overachievers is what they call them. There's no such thing as an overachiever. You want to be an overachiever. That would never be a negative thing to me. You're an overachiever. Okay. People just letting you know you on your stuff. You accomplish a lot of goals. What's wrong with that? You want to be an overachiever in life every day. There's things you want to do, things you need to do, things you want to take care of, things you need to take care of. Overachieve. Get you a long list of deeds, a long list of goals, and get those things done for the day. Get it out the way. Get everything complete and nice and neat. All right. So that way you can feel good about yourself, feel productive, feel professional, get that failure spirit off of you. You may not have anything to do right now, but I bet you can find something to do that'll help you get that negative energy off of you that people are saying. Man, people are talking about me, but I haven't found out what I can do yet. I haven't found out what to do yet. I don't have anything to do yet. Clean up your place, make it look nice. All right. Even if you're staying with the people, do the opposite of what they're saying. They may be saying some things that get you down. They may be saying some things that get you all narcissistic, fatigued up, feel like you can't get out of bed. Well, guess what? If you're going to lay in your bed, at least make it. If you're going to lay in your bed and just be in your room all day, vacuum it, empty the trash, open up the window, take the trash out in the house, clean some things up, clean something. You know, if they're dogging you and doing you too bad, don't do too much because they'll probably dirty it up right after you clean it to disrespect you. But just do something. You know, do something that can't get dirty right away. Just show some type of, to just make them eat their words. They still gonna talk about you, but just so you feel better about yourself, just so you can concretely know and firmly know they're wrong. They could say whatever they want about me, but they're wrong. They say this about me. I did that to prove the opposite, and you're not. It's not to prove it to them. It's to prove it to yourself, because you're at war for your peace and for your state of self esteem, how you view yourself. Certain people are trying to destroy you to where you won't get up and try. And that's when they'll discard you and say you got to go when you're down, you're broken, when you got all the energy and you want to do stuff and you're vibrant and you can, no, stick around, stay around, because they're trying to drain you of that energy. But then once the type of energy that you got, you're starting to figure things out, you're upset, they can't use you like they want, it's time for you to go at that point. They've already destroyed you. It's nothing left for them. They got to get you out of there. You're taking up space. You're not feeding that ego or their self-aggrandizement. You got to go. So when people can beat you down and tear you down and get some sense of accomplishment, like they're doing something, of course. But when it comes to your success, them uplifting you puts them down. Them having to give you praise makes them feel terrible. Them having to say, yo, good job, you did that. When it comes to something that you wanted to do, it's hard for people to do that because you did something not a lot of other people can do. So it's not easy for people to accept that somebody went out and became successful at something that they wanted to do. A lot of people want to do that. A lot of people like to do that. A lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people would really love to do that. Find something that they want to do it, love doing it, and become successful at it and be successful with it and see that success. A lot of people want to do that. But the thing is, you can. And that's why they're making a big deal out of your failures, because you know that you can. They're trying to bring you back to the idea that you can't. They want you to focus on the fact that things are too difficult and they couldn't. So they want you to see it as too difficult and you couldn't. But the thing is, you still see it as difficult. You just know that you can. You're the mind that thinks it can, regardless of the difficulty, regardless of how hard it is. You still are going to do it anyway. It is what it is. You're still going to do it anyway. So you have to make a big deal out of the things that they're looking over and looking past and acting like they don't exist. You make a big deal out of it. You be grateful for the good things that you got to offer and that you have and that you bring to the table, all the good things that you can do that are going to allow you to have the life you want. You got to appreciate the skills that pay the bills. You got to appreciate what you're good at, even if other people look down on it or if other people don't see it as having value yet, it's going to turn into something that's important. I mean, if it's important, it's only going to turn more into what it is. If it's already doing its job and you continue to do it, it's only going to get better and get greater and grow into something more, and it's only going to grow into more of what it is. All right. So people who make a big deal out of your faults, your problems, things that you went through, your past, it's only because they're just trying to make sure you don't make it, or trying to get you to think that you can't, or they're trying to get in your head and trying to get you to think that it's impossible. All right. Don't be fooled. Later.